guys are just absolutely awesome performers. Maketu Primary School, you got to come and have a look. Now, first up on the show today, we're off to the Surf Lifesaving Club. So now we're here at Maketu's Surf Lifesaving Club to find out a bit about the rescue service groups here. I'm here with Shane Beach and Mike Hickson. Great to be with you guys.
Good morning.
And first up, Mike, tell me a bit about your role.
I'm chairman of the Surf Lifesaving Club, so my role is to train the kids, to train the lifesavers, to recruit new members and the general operation of the club and everything that entails.
Cool. Now obviously we're at a beach and you've got surf and water and all that kind of thing, and I imagine in summer you've got many locals and visitors flocking. What is the swimming and the surf like here?
It varies like any beach according to the weather and the sea, of course, but yeah, we've got an estuary that runs out here. You have a very strong outgoing rip with the estuary when it runs out, and a very strong incoming, of course, and people do get caught in that and dragged out to sea. That's one of the main dangers. Boats coming over the bar here behind us, that's quite a danger. They get it wrong and flip over. And out-of-towners who don't know the area. We get a lot of people from Rotorua who, for instance, are used to swimming in lakes, not used to the sea, and other places from there. And a lot of overseas people, some of the itinerant workers who come here, don't know New Zealand conditions, and so they get taken by surprise when they get caught in a rip or a wave, something like that. Also here the entrance to the harbour varies, so one day the river might be going straight out to sea, the next day, even a couple of days later, could be going hard to the left and out that side, and so that catches people unaware if you're not used to those sort of conditions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now obviously there are dangers and other things that you're trained to look out, but there's also great places to swim, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And like everything, if you know the dangers, and that's what we try and do is rather than rescue people, is stop people getting into trouble. And so preventative is what we try and do, and show people where's the best place to swim or not to swim.
Okay, so just lastly, how does Maketu beach swimming, surf differ to other coastal areas around the country?
Probably the main difference here is there are other similar beaches, but because we've got an estuary and because the way it changes, well, now if you look behind us, it's high tide. When it's low tide, there's quite a few rocks out there. You come back in another 3 weeks and it could be sand. It varies a lot. And when we've had other lifeguards from other areas, they're surprised about how much the beach changes from sort of day to day. It's the same conditions. You couldn't write on a map there's a rip here, because tomorrow it may not be there.
So Mike, if we want to find out more, how can we get in contact with you?
Go to the Surf Lifesaving New Zealand website and look us up there.
Thanks Mike. It's been great starting here at the Surf Lifesaving Club, and of course that's not all there is to the rescue groups here. Let's have a chat with Shane. Shane, tell me about your role at the New Zealand Fire Service.
Right, yeah, I wear two hats, and one of them is the Chief Fire Officer of the Maketu Fire Brigade. And here we have a hardcore about 25 volunteers, and in Maketu here it's basically a one-stop emergency shop. Not only do fires, but motor vehicle accidents, medicals, civil defence, just to name a few.
Gosh, that means that you have to be kind of multitaskers, doesn't it? You have to know it all.
Pretty much so, yep. We are a fair distance from the hospital, probably 45 minutes. So we've basically got to fill the gap in before ambulance arrives or whatever the case may be.
Does it keep you busy?
Very busy, yep,
Yeah.
Extremely busy volunteer fire brigade. Probably around about 240 calls a year.
Wow, so I was going to ask you how important this is. You kind of answered that.
Yeah, extremely important. I think, with a community, we're out here on a bit of a farm out here, and we supply whatever emergency care we can.
Okay, so we haven't mentioned the population of Maketu. What is that?
Around about probably 1,300 the permanent people here, but obviously it fluctuates quite high in the summer periods. We get a lot of tourist people come here.
Okay, let's talk a bit about support. I mean, obviously supporting an organisation like this is really, really important. How are you funded?
Yep, it's a great believer that we're only as strong as the community itself, and if we don't get the backing from the community, whether it's financial or volunteers to make the organisation work, it will fall over relatively quickly. We're very lucky here in Maketu. We have a great support network in the community that help us out. and do come along to our open days and listen to whatever advice we have to offer them.
Sounds like there's a great community here in Maketu, so it's awesome.
It is, very
How
good.
can we find out more, Shane?
We have websites, is probably the best way to go. You've got the maketufire.com is probably the one to tack onto.
And also your Maketu Search and Rescue, or Search Rescue?
Yeah, Coast Guard now. Yeah, we will start off as Sea Rescue in our Maketu Coast Guard affiliated unit. I'm the president also of that organisation. And again, we've got another 21 volunteers that run that organisation.
Wow, that's quite a lot. That's a huge amount of support happening here. A huge amount of effort really taking place here in little old Maketu.
It is, and I think the community is quite passionate about where they live and what they do, and get right in behind it.
Great, thank you so much, Shane. Really good to be here in this beautiful place.
Okay.
And you know what? After the break, we're going to check out a New Zealand icon that's been born right here in Maketu.